Hey everyone, it's your girl Stacey the Intuitive, and today I'm starting my first episode of Living in Spiritual Luxury. So let's first get into what that means to me, because I kind of came up with the name the other day, and really to me, we think about the vibration of luxury in a material sense, but the vibration of luxury is really can be applied to just this living experience here on earth, right? It is a luxury to be experiencing the earth, and you maximize that luxury when you apply that sense of luxury to your experiences here on earth, right? So like waking up in the morning, make it a luxurious experience, play like an abundant soundtrack or something like that, stuff like that, right? This is how we maximize spiritual luxury, and then that is how we get it to materialize down in our physical plane. A lot of the time people struggle with manifestation because they are not applying the concepts in a spiritual way and bridging it with and like bringing it down, bringing that spiritual perspective down to their lives. So it's like, oh my gosh, I want to manifest luxury, but it's like, bring that spiritual concept down, the vibration of luxury. Where do you see luxury in your life already, and how can you maximize that? So really for me, spiritual luxury is experiences, is the experience of having a grand and exaggerated experience of life, right? And what does that mean? It means exactly what it's saying. It's like I'm having an exaggerated experience of what it is to take a walk outside. I might do that later. And the luxury of that is like the information I can gain, the connection with my spirituality that I can gain, the connection with nature. That is a luxury, because people are kind of going on autopilot sometimes, that they're not even able to conceptualize the luxury of these things. So really the spiritual luxury is kind of this notion of having a completely different life experience than like everyone else, who just is kind of going on autopilot and not really, is not really privy to the miracle that's happening in front of them, not really privy to the luxury that they're experiencing in the present moment. So that's kind of what it is for me. But I kind of mesh mine with a little bit of slow living, which I think they go hand in hand. And I think to me, a luxury is also being able to live a very slow and experiential life, as opposed to a fast-paced, busy, non-experiential life where everything is kind of feeling like it's passing you by. There is something to be said for the times when you're very much in flow and things are moving. But I'm really talking about just the current culture of the busy person, where it's mostly just about productivity and, those types of things. For me, the slow lifestyle is really just me being very real about the fact that I live a very meditative life, and I gain information, wisdom, and things like that through experience. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. I am able to really take in every moment for what it is and stuff like that. And I appreciate that fact about me. And I can really say I might do a podcast episode on this next. So be sure to check out my podcast in the description. I feel like the first episode should be up by the time you guys see this, but yeah, I might do a podcast on this, but like just a little sneak preview of what I'm trying to get at with this concept of living slowly. There is really this societal pressure to live a fast life. And, fast life is great, but there's something to be said for slow living that is not me going to the next thing, right? A big thing that's coming to my mind right now has to do with like when I was a child and I would want to do YouTube, and I would try to do so many vlogs, but I just felt like my life was so boring. When really my life wasn't boring. It was just I was experiencing life in a completely different way. It's not the notion of doing the next thing, where these things kind of work in tandem. The fast life and the slow life is just like the polarization of it, because a lot of people are trying to get to the next task, and they find that very interesting, seeing people at the next stage. And I thought like, oh wait, if I'm not having like a million things to do in a day, then people aren't going to be intrigued by that. And I really had that belief system as a child, and it really stopped me from creating, because I was like, I don't have anywhere to go, I don't have anything to do. But really, like, my true soul's yearning was to just live a slow lifestyle kind of, and be enveloped in the experience. Whether it is just me being in my house all day, I am maximizing that experience as much as I can. And I think that's a great thing. So I really hope that you guys will enjoy this, and that some people can take something from this. And I also want to give like preface that I am in no way saying that like all I want to do is like lay in bed all the time and not doing anything. No, there is a beauty in getting out there, but like I try to go by this way of living of everything in moderation. So like I'm not trying to always be chasing the next thing, and I'm not trying to always be going so slow, but I like to take the slow moments slow, and I like to, when I'm doing something, I like to do that in kind of like a slow manner, in an experiential manner. So it's really just about the taking the time aspect. It's really about the soaking it in aspect, right? So that's kind of what it's about for me. And honestly, I used to think vlogs could only be like me showing you what I'm doing next, but really it could be like a 5 minute clip of like me talking about something important to me, like in bed and with my bonnet on, my earrings on, my lip gloss on. I think that's cool. I think that's great. I don't got a problem with it, right? Why would anybody else? I don't know. But yeah, this is kind of just like my self journey to like becoming okay with who I am, you know, because I didn't like, this is kind of clicking for me a little bit as I talk about this in this video, but I really used to like diminish my natural nature because I really thought it made me boring. Like, because I'm not always doing things, and I'm not always like on the go, and I'm not always looking for the next thing, and that's just never been me. But at some point, I started trying to be that person because I just thought, like, oh my God, people are gonna think I'm boring, but like, who cares, right? Like, who genuinely cares? I'm not boring. I just live a different life experience than I was expecting myself to have to do, right? But anyway, this is the first clip. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the snow because it's snowing out here and it looks quite beautiful. So let's soak that moment in together, and I will see you in the next clip. And then we'll do like a little crystal clip or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. So it is snowing out here. I don't want to get too much of the outside for the simple fact that like I don't want anyone to know where I live. But I just love the image of like the trees with the snow on them. Let's zoom in a bit. It's just like a nice little coat for the trees. Like they're getting this more intimate experience with another, you know, substance of the earth. How cool is that? Because we don't really think about like, you know, the trees, they have each other and stuff like that. Humans have each other. But what a beautiful experience when they get to come into contact with something that is not of them, that is not the same as them, i.e. the trees with the snow. But they exist so perfectly in tandem with one another without resisting the snow coming onto it, without judging the snow. I don't know. It's a message that just kind of came up, and this is kind of what I mean by living life experientially. If I just took the time to tune in to this frequency, I was able to come to a very nice message. So hopefully this was very aesthetically pleasing for you and kind of gave you a thought or something like that to consider. But it's really nice. So we've got some crystals here, and I really wanted to just pick out a couple for right now. I don't think that this is all my crystals. It's not looking like it's all of them, but we're just gonna grab a couple that are calling me. This is a Mukanite, I believe, and it's like an ancestral healing stone. And then this is, I believe, what is this? I completely forgot the name, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and look, but I do have it in my phone. This one's really good for grounding, I believe. And then we have some carnelian. And then we're just gonna take this blue kyanite as well. And these will be my crystals for right now. Okay, sorry you guys. This baby right here is labradorite. Wow, it's literally so pretty. So pretty. I need to get my nails done, so like I'm very sorry about that too. And then I have some selenite here. And this is kind of just like something nice that I'm doing right now. You know, it's the new year, so I just wanted to get some crystals, and I'm gonna try to grid them in a cute way. But yeah, just taking the time to really appreciate these natural elements. You know, I'm really not doing anything today, so I made this vow to myself that I was really gonna try every single day. Let me turn around the camera. So while I kind of grid these crystals a bit, I'm sorry if my hands are ashy. Let's just be real here. Like, this is going to be the channel. I'm going to try not to come with ashy hands and stuff, but, like, sometimes it might happen. But, anyway, like, I was coming to this place of, like, just, I don't even know what I was just saying. Okay, sorry, we're back. I lost my train of thought a bit, but I kind of made this resolution. It was an intention more so than a resolution, but this intention that I was gonna really try every day because I realized I had like some type of limiting belief about me trying. It just came from like some childhood stuff and whatever, and just kind of essentially, basically, I stopped myself from trying. I would just give myself this self-fulfilling prophecy that I don't try, so that if I would fail, it would feel better almost because I didn't try. But you know, it was just because I was not in alignment with the things I was doing, so I really minimized the efforts that I would put into things, or the beauty of the efforts that, you know, I can create results from, right? And so I kind of, you know, just started living life through this way of not really trying on the things that I really care about, because I didn't feel like they would produce the results. But once again, like I said, I was just working through things that were inauthentic to me. So even if I was to really try and succeed, it might have sent me on the wrong path. So, like, I understand now anyway. But overall, I just set the intention to really try. But I think one of the most important things is understanding that, like, trying to all of us is something very much different. And I've always tried to assimilate my way of being to other people's. And it's not a good thing that that's been how I've lived, but like that's been the way that I've lived. But I mean, we all have our limiting beliefs and things to work through, and I'm very proud of where I've come to now. I'm able to just like identify these beliefs, identify these behaviors, change them. And some of these behaviors and things work in tandem, because like I would feel like maybe I wasn't like that I stopped trying at doing things in my life because they would fail, but simultaneously I had this notion about myself that, you know, that if I didn't have anything to do, that I was being boring or blah, blah, blah. So those ideas kind of went directly in conflict with one another, when really what I needed to just try doing, not even try, but what I needed to allow of myself was to just truly be myself. And then I wouldn't feel like the things that I tried at weren't working, right? This right here is me trying. This right here is me putting in effort towards something I really care about. But in the past, I would put in effort towards things I didn't really care about, you know, like trying to fit in with a group of friends or whatever it may be. It's just an example. And maybe if I didn't feel successful in that, I would then begin to feel like, you know, some type of insecurity or have some type of self-esteem issue, where I really just needed to be saying like, okay, girl, like, you're an introverted type of reclusive person. You like to be social, but don't force this extreme social energy from yourself like I would do at times. And that's why I would feel out of alignment. Whereas what I really needed to be doing is like cherishing this reclusive meditative energy about me, instead of making it feel like this energy was what made me boring and what made me, you know, people not want to be around me, or whatever it might have been. You know, this is all just kind of like coming up. But either way, what I say that to say is, if you're like me, like truthfully, and you really do appreciate like a slow lifestyle, you're kind of reclusive, you know, but also very social, because I don't like the idea of saying that I am like introverted or anything, because although I do require solitude and things like that, I do like being around people. I do cherish that, but my experience is just a little bit different in that I very much cherish both experiences, where in my life I've very much forced myself to kind of cherish being with people over my solitude, my slow living lifestyle, my meditative lifestyle, you know, all these things. But there's something to be said for a person with a calm aura too. So that's fine, because I've always felt like I've needed to be animated or larger than life or something like that. But honestly, what makes me larger than life is not me trying to be larger than life. What makes me larger than life is the fact that I'm here right now, fully embodying my authenticity, and that is what makes me like shine my light even brighter, you know? So just things to consider, you know, this, even if you don't find yourself to be reclusive like me, or, you know, in this energy that I am presently in, you could probably resonate in the sense that maybe there are behaviors or actions that you have kind of rejected in yourself because of notions that you've considered about yourself that are actually untrue. So, you know, like, this is contentful to me. Like, I like to be able to share these things about myself with people, and so like my social experience might be a little bit different than other people's, where this is soul nurturing to me to be able to like talk about this on here. But back in the past, when I was a child, I might make a video like this. When I was a child, you know, when I was trying to be a YouTuber at 10, 11, 12, 13, might make a video like this and then delete it because I'd be like, well, people aren't going to be interested in that. You're being so boring. When it's like, girl, you're literally calling yourself boring. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. So I just offer love to my inner child in that she really thought like she had to be something more than she wasn't, and that her authenticity wasn't like the most amazing thing in the world, which it definitely is. So thank you guys for tuning into this. We're gonna see where else today takes us, and I will upload this later. I'm very excited for this. I'm gonna show you guys the crystal grid that I've created. It's very small, but it holds some beautiful codes there, and we'll get into it. Alrighty, you guys, like, this is very basic and it doesn't really have any complexity to it, but although it really does, you know, let me like stop minimizing the things that I'm creating and whatever. You know, it's a very complex structure. It's not understandable to the common eye. I'm just kidding, but yeah, this is my crystal grid for right now. This blue kyanite is really good for like getting energies moving. It really, my stomach is making a lot of sounds. I gotta eat after this, but getting energies moving. This is really good for the sacral, for your desires. Like I said, this is very cleansing. This one I think is just very grounding. Could also be good for the root, for the element of security and ancestral healing energies and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the crystal grid for right now. Alrighty, so I just had a little bit of food. I'm still looking crazy. It's the first day of the year. I'm really not forcing myself to do a lot right now. Really just tending to myself. I'll get dressed a little bit later in some comfy clothes. But I've realized lately that something that my inner child really loves is, I'm sorry, the fro is looking crazy, but I was like, I don't want to be bonneted up all night. This is literally the second day fro, no refresh, no water. So, you know, she's crazy, but we love her still. So my inner child lately has been being fed by TikTok dances, because I've been doing a lot of TikTok dances, and I find that I naturally gravitate towards that when I'm not enveloped in the illusion, if that makes sense. Because usually I'm really just like, you know, the whole fast lifestyle thing has been very true. Let me pull up the camera because I can't really do it like that. The whole fast lifestyle thing has been very true, even in an age where there's like a pandemic and stuff like that. I've been trying to keep up as far as like being on social media, blah, blah, blah. And that has never felt good to me, you know, because it really is just like a social media is like a digital manifestation of that fast lifestyle, right? Because we're always trying to keep up with what other people are doing, trying to keep up our appearances, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so exhausting for my soul. I can't. And so now that I've kind of like pushed back from that over the past few weeks, and by the way, I'm home on winter break from school right now. Since I've pushed back from that, I found like myself going to TikTok, not really to be on TikTok like that. Like, I'll be on there for a while, but I really like see a dance that I like and I learn it. And it's also an interesting experience. It's very healing when I learn new dances, because when I used to do musical theater, you know, the dance department was not very nice to me. You know, people tried to say I couldn't dance, and, you know, I don't think that I ever couldn't dance. I think that people instilled such, you know, criticism on me that it really just made me insecure about my dancing. And I can pick up a dance like that right now, but it's when, you know, I felt like I was already being judged, because in high school and stuff like that, people would have like dance lessons for like years and years, and I had never really had that, you know, like years and years of dance lessons. Like, you know, I did a little bit of gymnastics when I was younger, and I did like dance stuff in school, but I was never like intensively training with dance. It was just like through musical theater and musical things that I would do because I had the more musically focused interest. And so now when I get to learn dances and stuff, it's great because it's very healing for my soul, for my inner child who felt like her dancing was so criticized. I'm like, no, girl, you're such a good dancer, and I'm gonna show you how fast we can learn this dance, because it was really always about like how fast I could learn the dance. And I'm like, I can't learn this dance that fast, but like now I'm like, no pressure, learn the dance, we're gonna do it, and then I'm learning it like super fast. So just a little blurb about my life. Sometimes you think you're bad at something because society has put this notion on you and you might believe it, but go back to it. If you have something from childhood that you actually really enjoy, that people kind of made you think you're bad at, go back to it and see how good you actually are without the pressure of those people. So yeah, sorry about that little pause. It was a little burp. Let's just be, we're keeping it real on a vlog, okay, y'all? We're keeping it real. But yeah, so bum ba da dum, it's your girl, and she's still in bed. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Let's get some snaps in there. Let's get some snaps in there for the productivity, okay? I'm trying to recognize my own beautiful traits. I'm just kidding, but I wasn't really gonna do much today, guys. I really meant that when I said it. But yeah, I am currently just relaxing. I just got off of a phone call with a friend. Before that, I went into like a deep meditation in which I went to a nap. Sometimes I do set the intention to like do meditation, listen to my inner voice, and then I'm fine with going into a nap after it. If I set the intention to meditate and I fall asleep, I don't really see it as a productive meditation unless I get at least like a good 30 minutes of meditation in and then fall asleep. So that's what it was. I like to meditate at least once a day, but sometimes I'll do like twice a day. I did a little bit this morning, but I was kind of restless this morning when I was trying, which is why I came back and did it just then, and it was nice. So I took a nap and then talked to my friends. This portion, though, I wanted to talk about like aligned communication and things like that. A lot of the time, if you're, living a life of luxury, obviously means that all of your experiences of spiritual luxury, that all of your experiences have spiritual influences. So that's a really good feeling to hold with you. So like for me, it's a blessing to get a call from a friend or something out of the blue, because to me that's like, oh my God, okay, I'm receiving some information, some type of correspondence that is going to allude me to some type of message from spirit. And it turns out to be true every single time. So just now I was on the phone with a friend, and it was really good because I felt like I was able to find significance, find meaning, find a message in what was being communicated to me. It's kind of like validation for other things that I've been working through. So, something really beautiful about the spiritual path is learning the beauty of patience, because a lot of times we think of patience as kind of like this stagnant state, but patience is actually not a stagnant state. It's a fertile state where a bunch of different energies can be coming to you from all different directions, maybe for like a core purpose, right? If you have solid intentions and things like that, things will naturally flow to you. That's that structure, that masculine energy, that structured reality that you have anchored in. And with that feminine energy, you allow things to come in that are kind of a reflection of that structure that you've created. So for me, it's like I've been working through some stuff and whatever, and I've been trying to like get clarity, but you don't really need to push up against the wheel for clarity when you're in a stage where you're kind of like in the hanged man, which is that new perspective where you're trying to gain a new perspective. You don't have to push up against the wheel with fear, because you should know that things are always coming into you. God and the divine are never trying to like leave you high and dry. And I think that's one of the most important things in the spiritual journey, because a lot of people, maybe you have a fear of abandonment or something like that. I can definitely resonate with that in some ways, or like at least emotionally or whatever. And whenever you have fears of things and you're on the spiritual journey, it's really a reflection of the fear that you might feel about your connection to source. So if a fear of abandonment is coming up, it's really a reflection of a fear of abandonment that I might have towards the creator. And we allow God, when we're in connection to that source energy, that spiritual energy, we allow God and the divine to reinforce this concept to us in their own way. And then we can anchor in that reality even more so. So for me right now, if I was feeling afraid that something in my life was going to abandon me when I felt like it was in deep alignment, yet I'm in a patient stage where nothing has been, you know, telling me to come off the path or that I was out of alignment, but yet the fears are coming in to cause a little bit of discord, God and the divine might send things that would reaffirm to me, like, we're not abandoning your goal or your desire. We have the same intention for you. We're not abandoning you or your wants. There is just a little bit of stuff that needs to happen. And so they might send you things that are kind of miraculously sent and they resonate with your situation perfectly, or they send a sign or an air of hope or faith or whatever to your situation. And that is kind of how you build that connection with source even more. So like, we can't forget the fundamentals while we're going through the obstacles and challenges, walking the path, stuff like that, because it's not only about attaining what you want, it's about having that solid spiritual basis by which to cultivate, to grow, to allow things into your life, right? So yeah, that phone call was really nice. It was really nice to reconnect with a friend, which I hadn't talked to in a while. Kind of figured out how things were all aligning in my life at this time just by that phone call. It's like, I got this message the other day from one of my favorite YouTubers, Queen Cup, and she was talking about how, like, sometimes God and the divine, like, if you've been having plans that haven't been working, blah, 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 sometimes God and the divine need you in a certain place, someone else in a certain place, and someone else in a certain, like, there are pieces of the puzzle that work together in order to create a cohesive picture, and the cohesive picture that I've just kind of received a little bit more of the picture that I wasn't understanding. So, yeah, things are going quite well. It's feeling really good, you know, good vibes here, but yeah, I'm just chilling. I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. Probably pull a couple cards, go down, talk to the fam, and just relax. Like I said, I might shower soon or just before bed because, you know, I've just been chilling around all day. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a relaxing day and I've really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna continue to enjoy it. I'm kind of having some back pain here, so might have my mom try to massage it, or I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's not a big deal, but yeah, that's the only thing. But everything's going quite well though, so I will see you guys next time in the next clip. So guys, I think I'm gonna end the vlog here because I really don't think I'm gonna be doing anything else tonight, and I'm just kind of getting in that relaxed mode. Probably gonna go shower, do some skincare and all of that. But that's kind of my night, you know, living a slow lifestyle, luxuriously, to making the most out of every single experience and applying like a spiritual perspective to it. So yeah, I hope this was enjoyable. Be sure to check out my podcast. I'll be posting a new episode soon, the first episode, and we'll keep going with it. But yeah, I just hope this video was intriguing. We'll be back soon. I'm gonna try to do these as much as I can, and I hope you guys all had a wonderful new year. So I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.